Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the S- Vice Speaker Sus B. Muffinas Memorial Building here on Hill. I hereby call this second day, second regular session to order. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. The time is 3:03 p.m. It is my honor to welcome everybody here today. Before we proceed any further, I respectfully ask that we take this opportunity to turn your mobile devices to silent or turn them off before we proceed any further. Also, today's session is being streamed live for public viewing on cable television channel 23, the Senate's YouTube page, the Northern Marianas Commonwealth Legislature's Facebook page. And with that, I kindly ask that we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. I would now like to recognize the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Babalta, Senator Calvo,
Present.
Senator Castro,
Stiga.
Senator Cruz, Senator Hofschneider,
Egi.
Mr. President,
Here.
Senator Magovnia, Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes, present.
Senator Manglonia Paul.
Here.
Mr. President, 7 members are present, 2 are absent.
With 7 members present, we have the necessary quorum for today's session. Please let the record reflect that Senators Magofnia and Babolta are hereby excused from today's session. Before we proceed any further, I would like to recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move to suspend pertinent rules to allow for the Senate President to withdraw legislations from committees.
There's been a motion and has been seconded for the Senate President to withdraw bills from committees and has been seconded. Discussions? Second, so we're ready?
Ready?
Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider, Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 7 members voting yes.
With all 7 members voting yes, the motion is hereby passed and the rules are hereby suspended. Recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move to suspend pertinent rules to accept unnumbered communications to be included in today's agenda.
Do I hear a second? So there is a motion for the acceptance of unnumbered communications and has been seconded. Discussions from the members? Ready? Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Ngan.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul.
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 7 members voting yes.
With all 7 members voting yes, the unnumbered communications are hereby added to today's agenda and are available for public comment. And before we proceed any further, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our LB staff that is assisting us with our session today. To my left, our fiscal analyst, Mr. Dave Demaplan. In front of us right here is Mr. Joe Bermudez, our legal counsel. Our Senate clerk, Ms. Dolores Bermudez. Our senior legislative assistant, Ms. Jolyn Duenas Sagabal. Our Senate clerk, Ms. Chanel Borja. Our IT assistant, Mr. Delbert Camacho. And our sergeant at arms, Mr. Benjamin Tarlahi. Also with us here today is our youth Congress coordinator, Mr. Louis John Castro. And with that, I also like to welcome the various departments that are here today and also the members of the staff of the Senate members. Thank you for bringing in attendance. Moving on to item B of our agenda, public comments. This is the portion of our agenda where we allow the public to provide comments on any of the agenda items that we have today. Please say your name for the record and the entity that you represent, and also please try to keep your comments to 5 minutes. Thank you. Public comments is now open. I
if you don't mind, we'll be reading off of a prepared comment. Hoffaday and Tiro, Honorable Senate President, neighbors, and honorable members of the Senate. For the record, my name is Regino Celis Jr., and I am a gaming enforcement agent with the Division of Revenue and Taxation's e-gaming branch. I am here today to express my strong support for Senate House Bill 24-18, which proposes earmarking $200,000 annually from electronic gaming license fees for enforcement purposes under the Department of Finance. This funding is critical for three primary reasons. The first reason is strengthening regulatory oversight. The e-gaming sector continues to grow in the CNMI, bringing both economic opportunities and regulatory challenges. The earmark will enable the department to hire and train enforcement personnel, invest in monitoring technology, and conduct more frequent inspections. This will help us ensure that all operators comply fully with the licensing, operational, and consumer protection requirements. The second reason is maximizing revenue collection. Effective enforcement directly supports higher and more consistent revenue collection. When gaming operations are properly monitored and violations addressed promptly, compliance rates increase. This safeguards the Commonwealth's fiscal interest by ensuring that all due license fees and gaming taxes are collected in full. Lastly, the third reason is promoting transparency and consumer confidence. The gaming industry's success depends on public trust. By dedicating funds to enforcement, we can maintain integrity in the sector, deter unlawful activity, and ensure fair play. A transparent, well-regulated environment encourages responsible operators to thrive while protecting the public from exploitative or illegal practices. Passing Senate House Bill 24-18 is not just about funding. It is about investing in the sustainability and credibility of the CNMI's gaming industry. The cost benefit is clear. The earmark will yield significant returns in compliance, revenue sustainability, and consumer protection. For these reasons, I respectfully urge the committee and the full Senate to approve Senate House Bill 24-18. It is a practical, forward-looking measure that strengthens our enforcement capabilities, supports economic growth, and protects public interests. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Salas. And if you don't mind, could we get a copy of that to the Sergeant at Arms? If possible, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Senators. I am Francisco Sierra, Gaming Enforcement Agent, Division of Revenue and Taxation, E-Gaming Branch, Department of Finance. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I appear before you not only as a representative of a regulatory body, but as a steward of public trust in an industry that touches lives, economies, and communities across our Commonwealth. Regulatory enforcement in the casino sector is not a passive function. It is an active, daily responsibility that demands vigilance, expertise, and resources. Our mission is clear: to ensure that gaming operations are fair, transparent, and safe for all participants. But this mission cannot be fulfilled without adequate funding. Funding is not a luxury. It's the foundation of our effectiveness. It enables us to recruit and retain skilled professionals, deploy modern compliance technologies, and conduct thorough investigations. Without it, we risk falling behind in a rapid evolving landscape where threats from money laundering, to digital fraud are increasingly sophisticated. Equally vital is training. Our staff must be equipped to recognize red flags, interpret complex financial data, and respond decisively to violations. Training is not a one-time event. It is a continuous investment in competence and integrity. A well-trained regulator is our first line of defense against criminal exploitation and systemic failure. The challenges that we face every day are we monitor for money laundering, where illicit funds may be funneled through gaming operations. We enforce safety protocols to protect patrons and staff. We uphold the integrity of operations, ensuring games are fair and operators are accountable. And we confront the human costs of problem gambling, working to prevent addiction and support those affected. These responsibilities are not abstract. They are urgent, real, and growing. The casino industry is dynamic, and so must be our oversight. We must be agile, informed, and empowered to act. Today, I urge this body to recognize that regulatory enforcement is not just a safeguard, it is a public service. It protects consumers, preserves market integrity, and upholds the rule of law. My colleagues and I humbly ask your support to pass House Bill 24-80 so we can continue to meet the challenges ahead and ensure that the gaming industry remains a responsible and well-regulated sector. Thank you, Mr. President, Senators, and with that, I yield.
Thank you, Mr. Haddad.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daniel Alvarez. I'm the Director for Revenue and Taxation. So I want to talk about the importance of having a strong enforcement branch. And we see examples of this, right? With the diminished enforcement efforts, this creates a culture of non-compliance within the industry. We see it with taxes, and you can see it with e-gaming. And you can also see it in the numbers. When in FY23, if you recall, there was a task force which increased a lot of enforcement efforts in collection, as well as regulatory branches such as e-gaming. We've had a big focus on, for example, poker, with a consistent monitoring and presence of enforcement within the establishments. And I'm not going to share every result, but for example, the jackpot taxes had increased in reporting, in the number that was reported. The fiscal year after that, of course, that increased effort was unsustainable. So our efforts kind of reduced because of the staff had to work overtime, and they had to increase the numbers with volunteers from other departments. And after the fact, we can see that jackpot tax reporting had dropped by almost 50%, right? So that's an example of just having that presence of enforcement being around increases compliance voluntarily, right? And even if compliance is not voluntary, with that increased effort, we can catch those who are not compliant. So this is why funding for the enforcement effort is important, because it creates revenue loss if our enforcement efforts reduce, and it creates a culture of non-compliance. And of course, revenue loss really is impactful in terms of operations. So I just want to make a statement that I support the House Bill 24-18 to earmark 200,000 to the enforcement branch. And this is not strictly just for gaming regulation, because there is training, there is software and equipment. The gaming industry is consistently evolving, and the government is going to be lagging behind if we don't get that training or software to, monitor and enforce and regulate the gaming industry. This includes auditing as well. In order to audit a gaming industry, there does require specialized training. So that would also fund all the training and certifications needed to properly enforce the gaming industry. All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. Public comment is still open.
Hafidez Zentirol, honorable members of the Senate. My name is John David Rages, and I am the Registrar of Corporations at the CNMI Department of Commerce. And I am here on behalf of the CNMI Department of Commerce to express support for House Bill 24-13, which was passed unanimously through the House of Representatives and transmitted to the Senate last Thursday, August 7, 2025. The House bill is to amend the fee structure of the Office of the Registrar of Corporations to remove the daily penalties which are imposed on businesses for late filing. The legislation proposes to amend Title 4, Division 4, Section 4205 of the Commonwealth Code. And this proposed legislation aligns with the goals of the Department of Commerce to ensure compliance in the annual reporting process and to promote a business-friendly environment in the Commonwealth. The primary goal of the bill addresses the problem of non-compliance by business entities failing to file their annual corporation reports. The Office of the Registrar of Corporations is aware that many small business owners are unable to or unwilling to pay for the daily penalties. By removing the daily penalties and leaving the one-time flat penalty of $150 for for-profit organizations and $25 for non-profit organizations, this legislation would increase the compliance rate for annual reporting. Our mission is to foster a robust, inclusive, and transparent business environment in the CNMI, and the elimination of daily penalties will lead to higher compliance in the annual reporting process. We've seen a concerning number of corporate closures directly linked to the burden of daily penalty fees. Data from our office indicates that approximately 25% of dissolutions, terminations, and withdrawals are tied to these daily penalty fees. As of today, a business entity that has failed to file its 2024 annual corporation report by the March 1st deadline is required to pay $1,110 in daily penalty fees alone. We've heard these concerns of our business community, particularly the nonprofit sector, regarding the financial strain imposed by the current fee structure. House Bill 24-13 represents a positive step towards alleviating this burden, creating a more supportive environment for businesses to thrive. In closing, the CNMI Department of Commerce believes that House Bill 24-13 is a crucial step towards creating a more business-friendly environment in the CNMI, and we urge for your support in its passage. In these challenging times, every effort we make to ease the strain on our businesses is an investment in the health and future of our community. Supporting this House bill isn't just a policy, it's about standing alongside the entrepreneurs, employers, and neighbors who keep our economy moving and making sure that they have breathing room and support they need to thrive. We appreciate your opportunity for these comments and thank you for your leadership and dedication to the Commonwealth's economic development.
Thank you, Ms. Regis. Public comments is still open. Okay. There being none, I'll officially close public comments. And just for the record, the item that was discussed on today's public comments was on the agenda for the previous session, but we'll go ahead and keep them on the record for further action in the future for the committees. Thank you. Now we're moving on to reading and approval of the journal. Recognize floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have Senate Journal number 24-09, first day, fifth special session dated July 31st, 2025. I move for its adoption.
There is a motion for the adoption of Senate Journal number 24-09 and has been seconded. Discussion by the members. If everybody's ready, clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Calvo,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator Manglotnya Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglotnya Paul.
Abstain.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, 6 members voting yes, 1 member abstention, 2 absent.
With 6 members voting yes and 1 abstention and 2 absent, we have the requisite number to adopt Senate Journal number 24-09. On to messages from the governor. I recognize the clerk.
Mr. President, we have 2 on our agenda, 2468 to 69.
Discussion from the members.
Mr. President,
Recognize Senator Hofschneider.
a reference to House or Communications 2468, I want to commend the legislation and the bill because it actually provided a fund status with regards to the appropriation being made by the Saipan delegation. So I appreciate this kind of product coming from the Office of the Governor, whereby they sign a local law and there is an accompanying certification of funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hofschneider. Any other members? Moving on, we have nothing under E, communications from the judiciary, nothing under item F, communications from heads of executive departments, nothing on G, communications from the House. Oh, yes, we do. Under G, communications from the House, I recognize the clerk.
Mr. President, we have 7 on our agenda, 2451 to 57.
Recognize floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is pertaining to House Communication 2452. While I appreciate the Revenue Tax coming in to provide their support, this bill would be going into committee, but like what Senator Jude had mentioned in regards to the Saipan local law, House Bill 24-18 did not provide a fund status report, and while this bill was introduced back in March, this account may have brought in additional revenue, and so if we can get the support of the director to assist the committee in providing an updated fund status as of today so that we can appropriate all monies that are in there to assist the department with their needs. But again, this is something that we'll be discussing committee, and just to help expedite the process, once we get that fund certification, we can discuss how we can appropriate additional monies. That's all I wanted to bring up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, floor leader. Discussions from any other members? Being none, on to item H, communication from the Senate. Recognize the clerk.
Mr. President, we have 3 on our agenda, 2499, 100, and 101.
Discussion? There being none, we'll move on to I, communications from the delegate. There are none. Unfinished business. There is J, none. On the K, pre-filed bills, initiatives, local bills, and resolutions. There are none. And L, introductions of bills, initiatives, local bills, and resolutions. I would now like to recognize Senator Manny Castro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce a unnumbered Senate local bill, a local bill for an act to rename Beach Road Governor Arnold I. Palacios Memorial Road in honor of the former late Governor Arnold Indalecio Palacios and for other purposes.
Thank you, Senator Castro. Any other members? Moving on, item M, reports from standing committees. There are none. Item N, reports from special and conference committees. There are none. On the O, resolution calendar, I now recognize the floor leader.
Mr. President, thank you. We have House Concurrent Resolution 24-2 to define and identify general revenue and approve revenues and resources of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands as identified pursuant to Article 3, Section 9A of the Constitution as amended, and 1 CMC Division 7 for fiscal year 2026, beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending on September 30th, 2026. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There has been a motion for the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution number 24-02 and has been seconded. We are now open for discussion. I recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Jesus Mossi, Mr. President, and I would like to offer an amendment to the concurrent resolution as stated by the floor leader. And I believe all the members have a copy. And that essentially is the work that your Committee on Fiscal Affairs have been, we just addressed this the last couple of days. So I wish to offer such amendment, and I just need to get a second so that I can enumerate what changes that was made.
There has been a motion and a second. Under discussion, recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a brief history of the process to which the concurrent resolution, a chain of events. April 1st, 2025, Governor Arnold Palacios submitted fiscal year 2026 a proposed budget identifying projected resources of $179,701,969 million for the Commonwealth government and related agencies. On July 14, during the first day, fourth special session of the House of Representatives, Representative John Paul Sablon formally introduced House Concurrent Resolution number 24-2, and that is to define and identify general revenue and approved revenues and resources of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands as identified under Article 3, Section 9A of the Constitution as amended, and 1 CMC Division 7 for fiscal year 2026, beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30, 2026. Accordingly, the House adopted House Concurrent Resolution number 24-2 in its original form, and it was transmitted to the Senate on July 15. The York Committee on Fiscal Affairs conducted a committee hearing, and we invited the Secretary of Finance, Tracy Norita, Office of Management and Budget Special Assistant, Ms. Vicky, Marianas Visitors Authority, Managing Director, Jamaica Tyrone, and the Hotel Association of Northern Mariana Islands, HANMI Chairman, Dennis Seo, as well as the Commonwealth Ports Authority, Acting Executive Director, Frederick Pangilinan. During the budget deliberation, or the deliberation of the product, your committee had arrived with the necessary amendments to provide the full board for the Senate today for this position, and I would like to read out. The amendments include the title change to reflect amendments adopted by the committee, and I just want to go ahead and do it for consistency, to approve revenue and resources of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands as identified under Article 3, Section 9A of the Constitution, as amended, the Title 1, Division 7 of the Commonwealth Code for fiscal year 2026, beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30, 2026. We reverted back to the House Concurrent Resolution format of identifying special revenues. And we also, the committee removed the definition of general revenues, which has been clearly defined by the Supreme Court, and corrected any reference of public laws of identified earmarks inserting proper statutory citations. We correctly identified the corporation fees earmark that was overstated by approximately $33,900 by the House, which identified 100%, which represents $135,508 in dollar figure of the funds, but the earmark only accounts for 75%, which is representative of $101,698,000 of the fees collected. This changes the subtotal of identified earmarks from $10,374,653,000, or $10 million, to $10,340,753, while subsequently changing the total resources available for appropriation from $127,455,066 to $127,488,966. We further inserted a notwithstanding clause under MVA earmark funds to provide $175,000 to the first, second, and third senatorial district respectively, and it's reflective on the product. It's each senatorial district 175, and removed all earmarks identified with a zero value, simply meaning that the House proposed to suspend these identified earmarks, which does not change the subtotal of the identified earmarks in the House concurrent resolution. So we removed any reference to MPLT investment proposal loan of 29 million. It is the position of the Senate that this matter must be addressed in a separate legislation and approved by both houses of the legislature and should not be embedded in the House concurrent resolution. And the clarifying references to the total resource available for appropriation, which are general revenue or for the Department of Public Lands, are not local revenues. So with that, Mr. President, I move to and request this body to adopt this product. I yield back. Thank you.
Any other members for discussion? Go ahead. So I would like to now ask the clerk to please call the roll on the amendments. Or the substitute.
Senator Cowell,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Yes.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Good.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 7 members voting yes.
With all 7 members voting yes, the substitute is hereby adopted. Back to the main motion. Clerk, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Under discussion, recognize Senator.
Sorry,
Cruz.
Mr. President, I appreciate the second go-around recognition. I do want to give my appreciation on behalf of the committee to the participating agencies that were called to discuss this particular document that we are about to dispose, as well as our staff, the AOB staff, the office staff, for their assistance throughout the process. And I do want to remind the staff and all the agencies out there that there will be some hearings that will be called on by this committee, and which will be announced at a later date. So again, Jesus Masi to everyone that have participated to allow the Senate members to arrive with the product that we're about to dispose today. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield back.
Thank you, Chairman Hofschneider. And I too would like to share that same sentiment. I'd like to express my gratitude and sincere thank you to all the members of the committee, all the attendees, the different agencies, also the LB staff for their tireless work to give us to help us come to this product. And with that, I'll kindly ask the clerk to call the roll.
Senator Cowell,
Yes.
Senator Castro,
Ngan.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Good.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul,
Yes.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. President, all 7 members voting yes.
With all 7 members voting yes, House Concurrent Resolution number 24-2 is hereby adopted in the form of Senate Substitute 1. Moving on to the agenda, bill calendar, there are none. Under Q, petition, memorials, and miscellaneous communications. Any members? None. Announcements. Recognize Senator Hofschneider.
Thank you, Mr. President. Staying on the agenda, just to notify the members, the Fiscal Affairs Committee members, that we will be having our first budget hearing, and it's going to happen next week, Monday and Tuesday, on the island of Tinian. And then the second one will be on August 21st and 22nd on the island of Luta. The requisite announcement and invitation has already been sent out. So I ask that we participate in these important meetings with both senatorial district. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Hofschneider. Any other members? There being none, I recognize the floor leader for the proper motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move to adjourn today's session, subject to your call.
Do I hear a second? There has been a motion to adjourn today's session, subject to the call of the chair, and has been seconded. All in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The session is adjourned at 3:37 p.m. Good afternoon, everybody.